Now, students from ethnic minorities are wasting thousands of pounds on worthless degrees from an institution posing as a university. A UNUR's investigation has revealed how a private college in London is dishing out unaccredited degrees despite being hauled before the courts and fined. Candida Beverages has been down to the campus.
The American University in London offers its educational programs in the firm belief that it's only through education and development that human beings learn tolerance and understanding.
The American dream situated, well, not quite where you'd expect it.
Archway is a colourful working-class area with good, inexpensive shopping, banks and two pleasant little bistros just across the road from the university.
But then the prospectus wasn't designed for wealthy American postgraduates. Its target is the developing world. Students like Khalid Hussain from Pakistan. His parents forked out thousands of pounds in the hope that a PhD from a British university would help him become a barrister. Now that dream is on hold.
At the moment I am upset. Being in subcontinent, we don't have sufficient knowledge, we don't have sufficient resources to come to know which is the accredited university or not. What we see in the catalogue, anywhere in the world, students, they just think in Britain there may be no dishonesty.
Khalid's not the only one to have questioned the university's credentials. Students before him had already contacted Islington Council. Andrew Gilbert is the council's lawyer.
We receive complaints from students who were concerned about the status of the institution. They're obviously concerned they were paying a large amount of money. They were not sure whether they were receiving a degree which was recognised by the appropriate bodies at the conclusion of the course.
The truth is, the American University in London's not recognised as a university either in this country or in the American state of Utah, where it was set up 10 years ago. In fact, Utah even drafted legislation to prevent the company from operating as an academic institution as far back as 1987.
Because your institution does not have significant presence in Utah, nor does it conduct significant educational services which affect Utah citizens, we are compelled to revoke the registration of the American University in London. Please therefore return the certificate of authority.
In 1995, the organisation that ran the university was successfully prosecuted by Islington Council for calling itself a university without the approval of the Secretary of State for Education. The parent company was then dissolved, leaving the American University in London to trade as a foreign company, one that isn't registered at Companies House, which technically means it's in breach of the law. But despite this, the AUL, as it calls itself, is still awarding degrees and even claiming they're accredited.
The American University in London is accredited by the Association of Independent Colleges and Schools.
Interesting, no one seemed to have heard of this body. The Department of Education, the Independent Schools Information Service, even directory inquiries drew a blank. The only clue was an address in London.
Well, here we are in White's Row, which is in the East End of London. There's a sign outside the door saying the Association of Independent Colleges and Schools. So it looks like this is an organisation that actually exists. So let's just press the bell and see what happens.
Once inside, I met a Mr. Mien on the stairs.
There's no one there. Are they ever there?
Well, they just use the office, for correspondence purposes.
Mr. Mien went off to get the address of Dr. Henderson, who's registered as the president of the association. When he came back, he told me he'd agreed to lease one of his offices to the company, but had never seen anyone there or received any rent.
Since the very first day, the signboard was put in. So we had an arrangement that they will have their own telephone here. They will use this as their office, second floor. But they never materialized these things.
So there's no one upstairs?
No.
And have you received any post for them, or have you forwarded anything on to them?
No. As I know, it's a dormant company. It's not been trading or anything.
As I left, I turned round to see Mr. Mien trying to dislodge the association's sign with a wooden pole.
You are actually going to take that down now, are you?
Of course, the companies don't even exist, so why should I be?
Okay, so
Yeah,
you're going to take it down now?
Yeah.
Good.
I rang the president of the association, Dr. Henderson, at his home. He told me he knew nothing about it. When I assured him he was the president, he told me he'd get in touch with Dr. Khan and resign immediately. So who is Dr. Khan? Well, he happens to be the Chancellor of the American University in London. I went to visit him at his offices on the second floor of a Methodist church in Archway, North London. You don't actually have authority from the Secretary of State, from the Department of Education, to call yourself a university.
That restriction is only for the British universities. The Education Reform Act very clearly says that the universities which are not British universities can operate in this country.
But you're still calling yourself an American university and you're not registered anywhere. You should have registered yourself with Companies House.
It is not necessary for overseas universities to be registered because there are about 100 overseas universities in this country.
If you have a place of business in this country, you should be registered. You should have registered within 30 days and you haven't done that.
We have received a letter from the Companies House very recently and we are taking action on it.
Can you tell me who your degrees are accredited by?
It is accredited initially by the Association of Independent Colleges and Schools.
Can you show me your accreditation from this business?
Well, we have accreditation, but I don't have to show it to you. You have to accept what's written in the catalogue.
Well, the person who actually leases this business says that nobody has been there, there is no telephone number, he has received no post. This is a body that simply doesn't exist.
Well, it is registered with the Registrar of Companies as an association. And it is just beginning. So it will take time before people know about it.
You appear to be awarding degrees to people who are paying a lot of money that doesn't seem to have any standing either in this country or in America.
Our graduates are employed by a number of companies who have succeeded in business. Some of them are in Fortune 500 companies.
Islington Council say they have no powers to stop Dr. Khan and have passed the matter on to the Department of Trade and Industry, who won't confirm whether or not they're investigating the company.
And if or when they do, we'll let you know. Candida Beverages report.